my name is Beck, and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I've been reading Doctor Who magazine. More specifically, I've been reading Time Lord Victoria's Monstrous Beauty, one of the many-pronged parts of the Time Lord Victoria's story. Is it any good? Is it worth buying Doctor Who magazine for? No. It's a little bit spoiler. No, it's £10 Doctor Who magazine, and they pay this. They're charging you more. Specifically for this, it comes in its own little, pull-out bit, which is good. I like that. I like that a lot. And it's not bad. It's not bad. But yeah, we're gonna go into it. We're gonna talk about it in detail. There's a little bit of like 2020-ness in there, which really do we need that? Do we really need that? Before we get in there though, before we get into it, can I ask you, can you hit the like button? Can you hit the share button? But mostly, could you hit that subscribe button? Thank you very much. I am ridiculously grateful for each and every one of you that subscribes, and I genuinely am. That is no word of a lie whatsoever. Thank you very much for hitting that subscribe button, or even considering it. Of course, if you do subscribe, you can enter my weekly competitions. The prize this week, which will be on Sunday, be a week from today, Sunday when I'm on the TARDIS Zone, what's that, the 27th, September 27th. The prize is Lord of the Rings, Two Towers, the special 4-disc special edition. Beautiful package, and my favourite movie in the Lord of the Rings movie, and it has my favourite battle in it, I think, on film at all, which is the Battle of Helm's Deep. So what you need to do to win this beauty, you need to subscribe to the channel, and in the comments, leave the hashtag Helm's Deep. Go and look at the video notes if you didn't understand my mouse pronunciation. So, as I said, I've been reading Time Lord Victoria's Monstrous Beauty. This is the second thing of Time Lord Victorious I've read. I read the Titans comic book one, which to me seemed to have a pretty good, solid core story. The story they were telling to tell that core story was much weaker. It's just more like it was much weaker. It just strikes me that the creative teams they have working at Titan Comics for Doctor Who are entirely inappropriate. They've gone very female. Very female orientated, which is fine. But Doctor Who is somewhat of a masculine brand. It works best like Star Wars, like Star Trek, when it's aimed at 8-year-old boys. Now that's not to say that girls don't like Doctor Who. So obviously they did, and certainly since 2005, there's been a ton more girls watching Doctor Who. I think demographics break down to, was it? I don't even know now. Is it like 60-40, 70-30? I mean, I don't think it's 50-50, but I think, Russell T Davies very pointedly brought in, lots of female viewership, firstly with Rose, and then David Tennant being a bit dishy didn't hurt either, and then Matt Smith being also a bit dishy didn't really hurt, bring in female viewers. So, so then they had this really bad idea that they're going to feminize Doctor Who completely feminize it. They're going to cast a woman as a Doctor, which I actually was on board for. I thought that was a bit of a good idea. I was excited to see how it went down, and not good, not good is the answer. Now, that's just one man's opinion. That's just one guy's opinion, but it happens to be one guy's opinion. That is the vast majority of people. The vast majority of people also feel the same way. It isn't very good, and not because she's a lady. It's because it's just atrocious in every way, shape, and form. It's just breathtakingly bad. So it hasn't done very well. And because of that, the Doctor Who licensing has not done well either. It's people with Doctor Who licenses, have found them not worth the money they pay for them. So BBC Studios, I used to be BBC Enterprise, BBC Studios, a commercial arm of the BBC, went, oh my God, we want that money back, please give me my money back. And so Time Lord Victorious was born. It was a multi-platform initiative of a central story going over many different many media. The only it has a one central story, but the only real thing that unifies them all is there is no current day Doctor Who in at all, no Jodie Whittaker at all. Now, unfortunately, it hasn't been realised that well, Time Lord Victorious. Even though, again, James Goss is was the driving force of it. Because it had to be because there's been a few limitations. Firstly, it's farmed out to all the different licensees, and the licensees seemingly get to choose whatever they want to do to tell their their part of the story. So there's that, and also there, every bit has to be independent. Has to have an independentness of it. You don't need to buy everything to get the whole story, which is good because I'm not buying everything to get the whole story. So you know the Titans comic book had it seemed to show the story was somehow the Time War never happened, and there's an even worse thing coming back from the dim mist of time, the prehistory, and they need the Doctor to be their champion to save them from whatever this is. Turned out to be kind of like a mud creature. Wasn't very impressive at all. So now we have Monstrous Beauty, which is completely disconnected to that in every way, shape, and form. And I'm still struggling to understand how these are part of the same story, which I think is the fundamental failure of Time Lord Victorious. You know, they keep giving us like these like, you know, charts of Time Lord Victorious, all the different things, but I still don't have any understanding of how these things link together. I still say, I've been saying this in every video about it, that there should have been one free central story thing, like a audio adventure with David Tennant, that told you they brought you into the story, brought you into all the different facets of the story, and so you wanted to go and explore them, all the little tributaries going to that main story, but they didn't do that. In fact, they realized they should have given away something free, so I think they very swiftly did this Dalek YouTube series, because it looks a bit tatty. I mean, listen, I'm sure it's going to be, yeah, Nick Briggs does the voices, he's always good. Hopefully the writing will be good. Who knows? Look, the Big Finish releases, I don't think they're going to be very good. I feel like a little bit hoodwinked into getting them. So anyway, Doctor Who's magazine entry into Time Lord Victorious is this thing, Monstrous Beauty, which focuses on the Ninth Doctor. What's the connection with this? I still don't freaking know after reading the first episode. Now, in its favour, and the normal Doctor Who magazine strip is 8 pages, so this is 16 pages. Although it's not really that much more meaty of a story. So yeah, which is a bit strange, but you know, you do get a better page count. It's by the traditional Doctor Who magazine team. Scott Gray is writing it. He's been writing it since the 90s, you know, but for a long time. John Ross does the art, James Offendy on the colours, and Roger Landridge, strangely, doing the lettering. I guess work must be drying up for Roger Landridge, because you're doing the lettering. That's like the worst part of making comics. I mean, other than selling them, that's like the worst part of making comics. So yeah, let's talk about the art for a second before we get into the story. So the art again is very modern Doctor Who magazine comics, which isn't really the best comics. I mean, to me, the artwork always seems a bit sub-2000 AD-ish. I mean, I like it. I associate it with Doctor Who. It works with Doctor Who. The likenesses are all great. That, you know, you can tell who's talking. Yeah, like what's going on, and it just kind of works within this own realm. But again, I just feel it's like sub-2000 AD. But nothing new there, because like, yeah, honestly, I still prefer it to the Titan comics. Basically anything they've ever produced. I got a full run of the Doctor Who magazine comic strips. Excluding the Jodie stuff. They just announced they're releasing a trade paperback of hers. I'll love to see the sales figures. Fine, so let's start looking. Let's get into the story. And this was coming up wrong. It should have been this other page. You get this little like intro page with like some nursery rhyme or some weird thing, and it mentions the Cthulhu, some alien that I know is kind of involved with one of the Big Finish stories, maybe the Master one. I really don't know. Again, that is a problem. So let's just talk about the story, you know, in of its own merits. The characterization of the Ninth Doctor and Rose, pretty good, pretty darn good. I liked it. You know, they felt like the Ninth Doctor and Rose. So yeah, they did well there. And they land on this mysterious planet, and the Doctor doesn't like it. He feels a bit jittery indeed. He doesn't know really what's going on. Looks around and discovers there's some kind of mining operation going on there. And then he discovers that there is a war going on, and this scary looking woman. Let me zoom in on her a bit. This scary looking woman who is the villain gets a gun on them, points them, and then she says the gun is a staser, which is a Time Lord weapon. So the Doctor's like, wait, you know, what's going on? So essentially what's happened is they've landed in the prehistory of the Time Lords, before the Gallifreyans were the Time Lords. Don't know how this ties into Timeless Children. I think, Take Two and all that. I guess this is... it doesn't contradict, but it certainly seems like it to be in a different universe. But then, after a few pages in, it gets a bit 2020, because this character is revealed to be Commander Rassilon. Commander Rassilon. So, really, is it so necessary all the time to have, to tell us that gender is fluid in Doctor Who? Really, because honestly, we went for a good 49 years without it even being, a mention at all. So that's not what, 91% of Doctor Who. There's been no hint of gender being fluid at all. In fact, when Big Finish wanted to do a female Doctor, the only way they could explain it was if you commit suicide, you regenerate into a gender swapped version of you. But now, honestly, ever since was it the Time Lord General regenerated in that Moffat episode and turned into the woman from Years and Years, who's a good actress, by the way. I would, she would be a good Doctor, quite frankly. In fact, she seems like she's got a bit of edge on her. I bet Chris Chimble's kicking himself now with all the BLM stuff going around that he didn't cast her. So it's fine. Why does everything have to have this gender fluid, agenda, for goodness sake. Again, we went for 91% of Doctor Who with no hint. It's just tiresome. It's tiresome and tiring and pointless and stupid. Now, I don't know if this Commander Rassilon is Rassilon. I do not know at all. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I mean, look, she's portrayed as a villain in this episode, which I think breaks the social justice rules that you can't have somebody. She looks like she's dark skinned to me. She looks like she's black, so you can't have somebody on the progressive stack being anything other than perfect. So Scott Gray's probably going to get in trouble for that. He hasn't drank the Kool-Aid properly. And where they are, they've landed in the Vampire War. They're against the Vampire Coalition, which if you remember that very good Lee Binding poster for Time Lord Victorious, we saw Rose in the white dress, with a bit of blood splat on her. Yeah, she wears that in this. She's totally she puts that dress on, and as she's captured by the vampires, and there's quite a good cliffhanger with the vampires, but it was over pretty quickly. And again, I'm just scratching my head to think how on earth this ties into Time Lord Victorious. You're asking us, the consumer, to get a lot of different stuff, a lot of very disparate stuff without knowing how it connects. And I guess at the end we'll know how it connects. And it's the wrong way round. It's the wrong way round. We want to know, at the beginning. Big Finish just announced this 9-part David Tennant season, called Dalek Universe. And we know what we're getting with that. We have an idea. I don't know. It's a shame. It's a shame because I did want it to work. I really did want it to work. I was excited when I first saw it. But, maybe it will, but the rollout's been atrocious. It's been absolutely atrocious. As for this comic, I don't know. I think the Commander Rassilon thing would be enough for me not to recommend you don't get it. Without that, it's a average Doctor Who magazine comic strip. Is it? Yeah. I was speaking of somebody who's read them all. It's an average Doctor Who comic strip. Not great, not terrible. And I have no idea how it ties in. No idea whatsoever. So there you go. That's the next part of Time Lord Victorious. It's taking part in the Time Lord Vampire Wars. And even though they weren't Time, these are Gallifreyan Vampire Wars, which doesn't really make much sense. In New Adventures, they explained it much better. Because the Time Lords, they were Time Lords, wanted to be a universe of science, whereas the vampires wanted to be a universe of magic and fantasy, and that was the central argument that the war that the war was caused by. This one again, it's very slight, doesn't really go into it. I think it's 3 parts. I'm a little bit who cares, which I feel that way about most of the Time Lord Victorious. I'm a little bit who cares. So there you go. I've read it, so you don't have to. This is not a reason to buy Doctor Who magazine this month. I'm going to be... look, honestly, the best article in it for me was about the Virgin New Adventures, which I haven't read yet, but I'm looking forward to reading. I'm going to be reading the Time Lord Victorious article as well. Hopefully that will give me an idea how this whole thing comes together. But yeah. Right now, this is a not a recommend. Not a recommend. And I'm sorry that it's not a recommend. I wish it was. So there you go. My name's Eli Beck, and the Rabbi from Another Planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.